Walking into a show is the feeling of the turf underneath your bare feet. It's Elisa's hand squeezing mine as we walk onto the field. It's the endless pinky swears behind you. It's the deep breaths we take and the reassurance we give each other. It's the dark sky, the cool air, and the bright lights on your face. It's the confidence that your team is right behind you.
You start feeling butterflies in your stomach. Not knowing if the judges are going to like it is the worst feeling. Knowing that one mistake can ruin it all is nerve-wracking.
During the show, it's almost like your mind goes blank. When the music's playing, you're letting all your emotions, all your feelings go out through your dance work, flag work. When the music's playing, it's like all your problems in life just disappear. It's just you and your equipment and your team.
It's over. Like, it's the feeling of when you know that the thing that you've been doing for the past 3 years or so, it's just gone. And it's not a sad moment. It's a moment like almost happiness that you've gotten to spend this much time with the people that you've performed with your team. Like that moment knowing that those 3 years haven't been wasted, but they've been put into something so memorable and so fantastic, something that you can look back on, you know?
When it's the last show of the season, you can't help but look at how far everyone has come, how much you've grown as a team. And when you walk out of the gym after your final performance, everything seems to stop. And you remember where you began.
At school, we always see a group of people spinning flags, tossing guns and swords. They're the color guard team on campus. They practice 2 to 3 days a week and 3 to 6 hours a day. They perform in competitions every other weekend in the WAJASC circuit, that stands for Winter Guard Association of Southern California. As I learned, color guard is an international performance sport that is not highly recognized. It is a big unknown community that branches off day in Ohio. Color guard heightened its popularity in the 1970s and the 1980s, and presently, color guard is performed all around the world and is increasingly growing in population. But what is color guard?
Color guard is a sport of the arts. It's a performance sport. We dance with different pieces of equipment, usually to the band, but also we can use tracks sometimes.
As a definition, color guard has been derived from military backgrounds, but it's been adapted to the current era, and I just think it's a huge art. It might not be as recognized as it should be.
To me, color guard is a very elaborate sport, and you just don't do one thing. You have multiple concepts to do at once. For instance, you have rifle, saber, and flag, and then you can also do dance.
My role here for Centennial Color Guard is I am the color guard instructor. I'm the man who makes it happen. How long have I been teaching at Centennial High School? This is currently my 3rd year. Teaching in general, like 10 years. What really got me into color guard? Just the understanding of how visual it is. I've always been a visual person, and color guard being the most visual in the arts for me, just took my heart and kept it. It still has it. Won't let it go. It's a prisoner. How has color guard affected my life? It is my life. It's helped me develop the person I am today, and it's helped me understand life skills and just really be a productive person that I am today. Without it, I don't think I wouldn't be who I am.
It has affected my life in so many ways. I have gained more confidence. I walk down the halls with great posture. I know that I can believe in myself and that I can almost do anything I want to.
I think it made me a more disciplined person, and it also made me a lot more confident.
Color Guard has been a nationwide performance since it started. It also used to take place in a basement complete with structural columns. The nation's Hollyhawks team were the first national champions. They won by disqualification of St. Anthony's Imperialis for trailing, which is an illegal move in color guarding. The most popular times of color guard were during the late 1970s and early 1980s when East, Midwest, and West had joined together to compete in what was called the World Guard International Olympics. Clearly, color guard has been around for many ages and has drastically grown and developed since it started. More and more people are getting involved with it. It is a very organized team dance and is difficult to process in many ways.
What is in Ohio? It's our national circuit, WGI Winter Guard International. Actually, it's an international circuit, to be correct. It's the biggest and most prestige event in our activity that we have. What color guards have our march for? I did not march in high school. I started my color guard program in high school because we were a young program and it was my junior year. And the managers said, I want to take this program to the next level. How can we be more competitive? I was like, one, we're missing a color guard. And so I took it upon myself to really help that get started. And then I marched Diamante Winter Guard. I marched in B Winter Guard. I did some other groups, but and Nexus Winter Guard.
Winter Guard International, also known as WGI, is a visual performing arts organization that hosts regional and national competitions for color guard, also known as Winter Guard, and indoor percussion ensembles. Contests are held in the US and Canada. The most common place known is Dayton, Ohio, where they host the International Winter Guard competitions every year.
Okay, so I'm going to explain the different parts of the flag. So right here at the ends we have the end caps, right here. We have Alfred taped on here. We have the silk, and right here we call it tap. So this is a rifle. And so right here you have the butt, the neck, the midsection, and the nose, and the strap. So this is the saber. And so right here we have the basket, the hilt, and along here the blade. And right here is catch tape.
Since color guard seems to have so many components, we decide to have normal people try it out. Do you think you could spin a flag?
Probably not.
Besides the regular equipment used in color guard shows, like flag, rifle, and saber, other equipment can be used. Some guards will use swing flags, which have smaller poles and larger silks, or just poles. The possibilities are endless and stretch as far as your imagination can go, whether that be just a type of fabric that goes over some of the members, or even something simpler as a wooden structure. Anything can happen. There are 2 seasons of color guard, fall and winter. Typically in the fall season, we call color guard simply color guard. In this season, you are with the entire band, and you are on the field performing during football games, as well as attending competitions on the weekends. During winter guard, the guard is usually alone and in a large gym. They perform on their own floor that they pull out in the gym, and they go to competitions.
Color guard is outdoors. We perform with the band on a field. And winter guard is more intimate. It's indoors and there's different theming and you use music instead of the band. And practice happens a lot more inside rather than outdoor where it's outside. I prefer fall season more. I think fall season is a lot more exciting. We do a lot more activities. We perform at football games and we have pep rallies and it's just a lot more united with the school.
Color guard is more, when it's more running around in a big area, and then winter guard is more focused on us rather than the band itself. I prefer fall.
My position here at Centennial High School is Assistant Principal of Activities. So I host all of the dances, pep rallies, lunchtime activities, and getting students involved here on campus. I do know what Color Guard is, and I love Color Guard. I think they are very important to our student body. They bring a good energy, give students something safe to do after school. I did not know that Color Guard competes in constant competitions. I do know they're involved in a few, but I didn't know how many.
How do you feel about having them on the football field during halftime?
I love it. They've been out there a few times as part of the band show. I haven't seen them do anything solo. I would love to see them more involved in regards to some of our other events, like our spring assembly is coming up, and I'd love for them to be part of our show.
Have you ever injured yourself? If you have, what's the story?
Yes, I have injured myself. Our most recent fall show, I tossed a quad and I pushed forward and it came back and hit me in the head.
I haven't had any. I was lucky enough not to have any serious injuries. I've jammed my finger before to the point where it got stuck like this, and that happened in a run through at practice. And it was a partner toss we were doing, and my finger just got jammed and it got stuck, and I was like, I can't move my finger, and it swelled up like that and stayed like that for like a day. And then the other experience was we were doing our final run of the day. We finally finished our show. This is back in 2011. I still remember it, and I gave myself a black eye with my rifle.
Okay, so my junior year, I had a quad on rifle. It's 4 rotations on a rifle, and it was on a box. And it was kind of windy that day. And so when I went to toss, when the rifle came spinning back down, it came spinning back down towards my face, and I fractured my tooth. And then I had to get a root canal, and it was very painful.
It was my second year, and there was this one kid who had this super cool toss that I wanted, but I was terrified of. He decided that it'd be a good idea to hook it, which means like to send it over where it shouldn't be, and it slammed into my shoulder, and I had like a huge bruise the size of my forearm.
I can remember my very first competition. It was scary. I was nervous as all outdoors. It was for Diamante Open House, my very first Winter Guard ever. And I was like this little kid, I wasn't a little kid, I was in college. Nervous wreck because it's something I've never done, and I was like really excited for the experience, and I was like crapping myself. I was like, what do I do? What if I mess up? And my instructor was like, don't think about that. You've rehearsed how many hours? You know your show. You know how to do this well.
It's been so long. My first competition was, it was terrifying, but also really cool, because I wasn't nervous, but it was just like I was the center of attention, and I thought it was really awesome.
My first competition, I didn't perform because I came late. I came 3 weeks into the school year, so it was kind of late for me to do first movement. So I sat there and I watched from the sideline, but I saw the uniform. I was just like sitting there.
My first competition, it was Narco, and I was very scared, especially with the makeup, because I was like, how do I do this? But other than that, I think it went pretty well for our first one, because it was more like a trial run, and then it went pretty good, and I was like, oh, I really like this, competing in front of people.
A lot of my favorite memories come from my time with student leadership. We go out to accept awards before, after we perform, so a lot of my favorite memories come from being with them.
My favorite memories are actually not in practice or anything. It's with my co-captain, because we turned into the best of friends after we were put together. It was a bit hectic at the beginning, but it's just, there's so many stories. Like this one time we were running around in uniform with smoothies. We shouldn't be drinking smoothies in our uniform, but they were really good.
My favorite memory would probably be winning a silver medal at championships my junior year.
My favorite memories are football games and going to Sacramento with the band because I feel like I connected more with everybody.
Have I ever thought about quitting? Yes. But what stopped me as a performer, it was just what made me want to quit were the rehearsals. I was like, I'm just tired of being tired. But the performances and just really the bonds that it created and being able to perform with people that have the same passion in me was awesome. And as an instructor, there have been plenty of times it's like, I'm done. I can't do this. Like, I'm not giving the students the best of me. It's done. Like, there's nothing more I can do. And it's just their faces and them inspiring me to be better, to better myself. So I mostly do it for the students as well as myself, but it's mostly for them because I get great inspiration from my students.
Have you ever had a kid come up to you and thanked you? And what does that feel like?
Yes. Yes. That's what it feels like. It's like I feel like I've done something right. And that's a different experience in its own. It's like having a student come up to you and thank you for everything that you've done for them. And it's like you just want to return the favor because it's like as an instructor, you're just like, you don't know what you've done for me, like type of thing. It's because as an artist, you find inspiration everywhere, and as an instructor, you find inspiration from your students to keep pushing.
Once you come to the end of winter season and the Color Guard year ends, you have time to reflect on your journey. The football games, fall competitions, winter guard performances, and the great times in between. The sense of accomplishment you feel despite your placement at championships is the best feeling ever. And that feeling of euphoria and excitement, of knowing it's all over is amazing, yet sad at the same time. But it's all okay, because you simply start over again.